all right, do I look more alive in the eyes now?
You do look more alive in the eyes.
He was setting up the camera and he was just like, you look a little dead in the eyes. I was like, well, darling, I'm not on yet.
I was trying to give you some friendly feedback.
I'm getting into character. I'm getting into my 2 Gay Matts character.
I thought you were a real person here. I thought this was just like...
It's all fake. It's all a persona. I'm like Paris Hilton.
Oh, really? I can't wait to hear your real voice one day.
I know.
You're going to drop down like 3 octaves like she did. She's like, hey, I'm not Steele.
Hey. I watched recently a cooking show that she has on Netflix.
I heard it's cute.
It's really, really cute.
I heard it's funny.
And like not too forced.
Yeah.
It's like really, really fun. I always found Simple Life iconic.
I didn't watch it, but I mean, now that I watch Kathy Hilton on Beverly Hills, I'm like, clearly Paris must be doing something right. Because it's in the bloodline.
It's in the bloodline.
You know?
It's like, damn. And we don't want to support it, but like,
we don't. But it's like, if I have to choose between Kim Kardashian and the Hiltons are more interesting to me.
Absolutely.
You know, like, 1000%. Is that rude?
She's got the timing.
I'm telling you, every week I look for stories, anything with Kim Kardashian. I'm just like, I just don't care. Is that bad? It's just because I know neither of us care.
Yeah.
You know?
Do our listeners care? Listeners, vote below.
Tell us below. Send us an email. If you care about Kim and think we're overlooking her, tell us. But I assume you don't. Guys, you must be getting your Kim information elsewhere.
Yeah, and guys, honestly, like even if you vote below, like, yes, talk about Kim, we won't.
That is true.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another 2 Gay Matts podcast. It's Matt Steele.
It's Matt Palmer.
And we have entered the final month of the year.
Can you believe that?
No. I was like, oh, well, of course, 2020 feels like it's going by fast.
2021.
No. But like before last year, I was like, oh, well, 2020 feels like it's going by fast because of all the craziness and everything.
Yes.
Not that there wasn't craziness this year. Obviously there was, but it's just like, oh no, this is what adulthood is. It's just the years just go by faster and faster.
It's true.
As Andrew Garfield / Jonathan Larson say, years are getting shorter.
Yeah. And I mean,
lines on your face are getting longer.
I guess.
Except for ours.
With the lights. with
these lights in front of us, yes.
You look great. But yeah, it's one of those things where I look around and I'm like, oh, wait, I'm flying home in 10 days?
Damn. Oh, that's right. You're leaving in the middle of the month. I'm
leaving in the middle of the month. And I'm like, even though I have, if you're looking at us, you'll see probably a couple of more lights, more decorations. Things are looking Christmassy in our home, which I really appreciate. But like,
it's building and building all around me.
It is. But it doesn't feel like that time of year yet. Weird. I mean, obviously, I was just sitting outside on the table and it was like 66 degrees. So that'll do it. But also, it just doesn't feel like I'm about to go home for Christmas. You know, really? It just doesn't feel like that.
See, I was in a boba place today and they were playing Christmas music. And for the first time, I felt like, I was like, I do love Christmas.
You didn't feel that way when I was playing Christmas music and we still lived together in like September?
No, because it was September.
But you know I was.
You like to start Christmas early, as Kelly Clarkson asked us a couple months ago. Or like, at this point, it was like almost 2 months ago.
Wow.
Christmas, please come early this year. It came a little too early for you. But, now I feel like ready.
Yes.
It's Christmas time, and I'm very happy I'm going home the 22nd.
Wow. How long are you going to be home?
I'm going to be home for 2 weeks. I'm always a solid 2-weeker.
Wow.
There was 1 year, 2015 into 2016, I was gone for 3 weeks because I booked my flights too late, and I was like, it's cheaper to do it for 3 weeks. I'll do it. And that was a long time.
So you do New Year's in Jersey?
I always do New Year's in Jersey. Well, I've never missed a New Year's at home.
I feel like I did New Year's at home one time, and we love going home. I love being home forever long, but to me, New Year's is like a young people holiday, or like I'm doing no shade to my family or parents. Of course, we love
your
them.
parents are cool and
they're
hip.
cool and hip and young, and but it's like I just have never done growing up. We never did family stuff on New Year's. It was like, oh, you're now old enough to get in the car. Like, have fun, best of luck.
See, my parents were always scared to have me do stuff on New Year's because they're like, everyone's drunk. They're great. They're driving. I don't want you driving and out and everything. And then my parents got kind of old and they were just like, we're not staying up. So do whatever you want, girl. Whatever. I'll hang out with your parents on New Year's.
Hey, that's great. Just fly down to Atlanta, Georgia on New Year's. They'll be happy to see you. You know.
What if I was just like, hey, Mrs. Palmer, I decided to come down and visit for New Year's.
I think she'd be happy to see you. I don't know how long you could stay.
Okay.
But I'm sure she'd let you in.
Oh, okay.
That's helpful.
I appreciate that.
Yes, you'd have a place to stay for at least a couple hours.
All right. Hey, that's all I need. All I need to see is that ball drop.
Right.
And I can't imagine what it's like not seeing the ball drop at midnight. When you stay in California for New Year's, the country, the East Coast turns midnight before the West Coast. So
but
like that must be weird.
It's not weird because they just play. I mean, then the show ends and they started over for the West Coast people. And it's like, oh yes, it's about to start.
It's weird.
Like I mean, that's like the whole thing with time zones. Do you think time zones are just weird all the time?
Actually, yeah. And if you think about it hard enough, you're just like, this is weird.
I mean, I guess, but I'm used to it. And I feel like LA, it's just a fun place to be around people my age, hanging out, doing cool stuff.
I like being in Jersey because I'm the first one in the country, to have midnight.
Not in the world.
But what else did you do this week?
What did I do this week? I feel like I watched a good bit of television this weekend. We watched Coming Out Colton, which your friend worked on, and it is beautifully shot. And I didn't dislike it. I thought it was nice. It wasn't like the most thrilling watch, but I do think it could help some people out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it got more interesting as it went along. Because initially the first 2 episodes were very much like I'm coming out to my family and like coaches that I used to have, and all of them were just basically like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes as well. How many are available now? Is
6.
it all available?
It's all of it, and I think it's 6.
It's 6? Okay, yeah, because I just finished the second one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's him basically just like coming out and like everyone just being like, well, I love you. And it's like, well, that's great.
Well, it is great.
That's the response that there should be.
Right, but is it like television gold? I wouldn't say so.
I mean, we'll get there.
As it goes along, it gets better because it's then dealing with the aftermath of when he came out publicly and how people were just like, well, he's a stalker. And like seeing him deal with that was more interesting to me than the initial like. But it was funny because I felt like a lot of the criticisms of it of being like, oh, you know, Gus Kingsworthy's his gay guide, another sits, you know, straight passing white man is his gay guide. Like, and I would think they would have like injected more people of color into the show, and they did not.
Okay.
I mean, there are a few. There's a black trans lady who is like a pastor who shows up, and Michael Sam, who was the NFL player who was out, is there,
and also another NFL player.
Yes, who is maybe Hawaiian.
I don't know. I know. I think he's the guy who's on. There's an amazing documentary that from like 2004 or something called Rosie's Family Cruise.
Oh,
and it's like all gay families on a family
Rosie
cruise.
O'Donnell?
Yeah. And the cruise is hosted by Rosie O'Donnell. It's the best documentary ever. It's amazing. It's so good because it's just like all these like gay parents with the most adorable children ever. The kids are so cute.
Do you think it's on Netflix?
Probably not. I don't know. But I used to watch it all the time on DVD. And he was on it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
And he was very winning and lovely, and you know, it was good to see him.
Yeah.
But it definitely was. There were moments where it was like, oh, we're having a big coming out party for Colton. And it was just like, so everyone is white?
I mean, he lives in Colorado.
He does.
He's from Colorado.
And then they like traveled to like Nashville, Tennessee. And so it was like, oh. It wasn't bad. So I did that. I'm trying to think. We did more decoration.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm trying to think. I saw Janie a good bit. It's so great to see her, of course.
Oh, Janie.
A queen. But I don't think I've done anything too crazy. How was your week?
It was good. Yeah. I started my other job my production job that I got, which is a string of like fitness workout videos. I didn't tell you. Did I tell you? I got my title got bumped up to, instead of script supervisor, I'm segment producer.
You did tell me that.
Which is nice.
Yes.
And because they lost a segment producer and they were like, you'll replace them.
Perfect.
You'll figure it out. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know what you need me to do, but I'll do it. So a big thing I do is I help with the rehearsal process for the workouts, the trainers who are doing the workouts.
Yeah.
I run the timers because every like set, I think it's called, or something, has to be like a certain length of time, and then there's a certain number of seconds of resting and everything.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm like running the timer and making sure it's all happening on time. So I'm basically sitting there watching these people work out for like, they're doing like half-hour workouts straight, but like also hosting a show as they're doing it. Ooh. So I'm just watching it, sitting on my fat ass, just being like, I am so glad this is not my ass because this looks exhausting.
Wow.
I can't believe these people are doing it with smiles on their faces. And also there are different segments in different languages. So I did like the German one. And so they're all speaking in German, and like a German translator's like in my ear telling me what they're saying in English as I'm watching them, as I'm paying attention to a timer, as I'm trying to take like continuity notes.
This is interesting.
It's very interesting, but I'm sitting down the whole time.
I love that.
So I love that.
How long is the job for? How long is the gig?
Until like mid-January, I think. Yeah. So we're doing it. And then
you're just working at the restaurant on Sundays then?
Yes.
Iconic. We love a new schedule for you, Matt Steele.
A new schedule. We'll see how well we work with it. Yes. You know, it could get exhausting after a while.
It could.
We'll see.
Have you changed yours? Because you have to get up early a lot of the days. Do you go to bed earlier now?
I have been.
Okay, look at you.
But my call time tomorrow is 6 a.m.
Woo!
So hello, Matt Steele's not a morning person, ladies and gentlemen, but he's gonna be.
Well, we're recording this at 9:49 p.m., so we better jump into news for idiots for Matt Steele.
Yeah, especially because I have to go home and create some new timers.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to do that before tomorrow. So
we got some news. Are you ready?
I'm ready for the news.
Did you hear that Little Mix has announced their hiatus?
No.
Yeah.
When was this announced?
I thought you had. This was announced on the 2nd on Britney's birthday. Happy birthday, Britney.
Happy birthday, Britney.
So they basically have said, we wanted to let you know that after the Confetti tour in April, May of next year, we are going to be taking a break from Little Mix. It's like a whole tweet thread in which they basically are like, we are still remaining a group. This is not. Hold on, let me see what they say. It's been 10 amazing years, a wonderful nonstop adventure. We feel this time is right to take a break so we can recharge and work on some other projects. But they're really trying to make it clear that we're not actually breaking up, which I assume they're not, but isn't this what all groups say when they're breaking up?
Of course. The thing is, though, 10 years for a group, that is a miracle.
They've earned this break.
They've really earned the break. I always am just Little Mix has been around for a while.
Yes. And it's until obviously this whole Jessie Nelson thing, it was they all love being in a group. It seems like they really supported each other. They put out so much music, so many albums.
Yeah, and great music,
Great music. And it's just been nonstop for them. So
their best album to me is their most recent one.
I know. It's very good. So I'm happy for them. And I mean, of course, they just all had babies. So.
Yeah. So take a break, take that hiatus, raise your kids, do the other little projects you want to do.
Right.
And 10 years from now, put out another Little Mix album.
No, or more sooner than 10 years. Give 5.
Give the people time to get excited.
5 years. This isn't a Spice Girl situation.
Wow.
No shade. But it's just I think they really are going to remain a group of the 3 of them. I do.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to do more things sooner rather than later.
Okay.
But I believe that Jade, the one who does not have a baby, has a lot of solo music in the can. So I believe we'll be hearing from her sooner. And a rumor is going around that I think there have been pictures of Jessie not only, blackfishing all the live long day, but also dating one of Leanne's exes. And it's just girl.
Oh.
Do you hate good press? Is this now the promotion? I'm the villain of Little Mix? Is that the turn we're making? Because she's now being pictured on a Ferris wheel making out with this guy who used to date Leanne.
Does Jessie have Jessie stans? Are there, how Azalea Banks would do some crazy stuff and her stans would still just be fuck yeah, she's the best.
Right.
And fuck all you haters and everything. Does Jessie have those stans?
I assume there are still people who loved Little Mix who still have a soft spot for Jessie, but the thing with Azalea is those random white gays who were still really obsessed with her always had her music to be oh well, Azalea's music's amazing, which is it? But people believed that there's no music. Jessie has one song and it's bad. Right? There's no music that you can use as oh, this is the reason I stand her, because all the music is Little Mix and then that one song.
Yeah, I feel you gotta put out a little more before you decide I am the villain.
Yes.
This is my persona. You will love me.
It just is a choice. If I were her PR team, I would be really, girl? We were really going to try to make something of you being the first Little Mixer to go solo, but, maybe we should not have.
Okay, well, get her, Jade.
Get her, Jade.
Get her, Jade. She's going to put out some great songs.
Can't wait.
Hopefully.
Well, speaking of people who, have seen better days, Mr. Christopher Cuomo has been fired by CNN. Apparently he was put on leave, I guess early week. There was new, because the thing is, he and former Governor Cuomo, it came out that they both were kind of not great. What happened? They were touching women?
No. I don't think Chris was accused of any of that.
Okay.
I want to say it was found out that Chris was using, when Andrew was being accused of having a inappropriate workspace and sexually harassing.
Yes.
I don't know who. But I think it was revealed that I don't know if I'll get this story right. What I saw on The View was that as I was like doing my push-ups, it seems like Chris was using his like inside connections to help him,
tamp down the media coverage on this.
Maybe something it seemed like Chris Cuomo was trying to use his connections to help his brother out in some sort of way, and this was deemed obviously inappropriate.
Well, CNN says Chris Cuomo was suspended earlier this week pending further evaluation of new information that came to light about his involvement in his brother's defense. We retained a respected law firm to conduct the review and have terminated him effective immediately. While in the process of that review, additional information has come to light. Despite the termination, we will investigate as appropriate.
Yeah, I want to say like he tried to use his like media influence to help build a case for his brother or something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. I might have gotten it wrong.
I feel like we're going to hear a lot more about this. And it just makes me sad remember when people were like, I'm a Cuomo-sexual.
I remember that era. It was kind of
like, that did not age well. And it's like, we probably could have told you that when y'all were spouting about that, but.
It was a rough time, the pandemic. We were all spouting a bunch of stuff.
And we were all just trying to find people that we could deem as heroes, but let's not throw the word around. Mariah wrote hero for certain people. And I don't think the Cuomos are in the vicinity of that. No.
Mariah reminded us that maybe the heroes don't lie in other people. they lie in you, in ourselves.
It's all very true. So, I mean, I guess we'll keep our eyes peeled there. But it just sounds like a mess. But in happier news, Adele's going to Las Vegas.
I am excited. This is a reason to go to Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. And so because...
It's so interesting that you love Las Vegas.
Adore Las Vegas. Never had a sip of alcohol in my life. Don't gamble nothing, but I love Las Vegas just because my dad used to live in Las Vegas when I was a wee young lad. And so my brother and I every summer for... several years would visit him for like 3 weeks in like August.
So you have like a lot of history and like nostalgia attached.
I have a lot of nostalgia. Like Vegas, going to Vegas always reminds me of like summer vacation.
Yeah.
And at this point, Vegas was really marketing itself as like a family destination. So there were a lot of things for families to do at this point. Now it's just like come to Vegas to sin. But whenever I go to Vegas, I'm still just like, where's the fun family stuff to do?
And you do love a buffet.
I love a buffet.
And just for the nostalgia, you got to say.
And I'm talented at a buffet. You saw me eat at those buffets.
I did.
Everyone at the table was like, Matt,
it was a shock.
You can put it away.
It was a shock. But Adele is going to be at Caesar's Palace where Mariah was beginning in January. I believe it's January through April. It's called Weekends with Adele. Their singer is going to perform 2 shows each weekend in 2022 from January 21st until April 16th for 12 weeks. Pre-sale tickets will be available using Ticketmaster Verified Fan. And it's like, have the prices come out? How much is this going to cost?
I can't imagine.
We went to Caesars for Mariah. It's not a big place. That is not a big. It's not like we're in an arena here, people. This is
It wasn't an arena, but it's a big theater.
It's a theater.
It's big for a theater.
Is it big for Adele? No. Like the prices.
It's not an arena
for the back row. I assume will be a minimum $175.
Damn, yeah. The thing is, is it at the Coliseum?
It's at Caesar's Palace.
So that's the Coliseum, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Mariah there. I saw Bette Midler there. That was a show.
Really?
I was last row for Bette Midler, and I was still just like, this is great.
The thing is, I haven't seen Adele since she was doing, Soho in New York, before Rolling the Deep even came out. So I would love to go.
Save your pennies, girl.
But that's the thing. I would like to also buy my family Christmas gifts. I can't.
But they would want you to gift yourself Adele,
How much do you think the front row ticket for that is?
I don't want to imagine what, especially because it's Adele. So it's
like $1,000
older demographic.
Yes. It's like you guys have money.
Stuff. Yes.
Oh, it's good for her because the thing is, I don't know how safe it is for her to be doing a whole world tour at this point.
Oh yeah,
she can stay in one place. She has that baby.
Yeah,
I guess baby is 6, but whatever.
She's got that baby.
She's got that baby. But it's easy to just stay in one place and perform her shows. But I just need to see the ticket prices. Honestly, okay. That's what I need. So
right.
I would like to go in theory. We'll see if it happens in practice.
Okay.
Did you see that Joshua Bassett came out with a 3-song EP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you listened to it?
I have.
Is it good?
It is.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Why didn't we react to it?
Because I didn't know anything about this kid. I didn't know it was going to be good. But it's good. But it's also I feel like for a response, because it's basically, not all, the third song, not really. The first 2 songs are direct Olivia Rodrigo responses.
Okay.
And I feel like people like John Mayer and the Jonas Brothers have put out their like retorts to Taylor, and they're always a little like, all right, like this is fine. Like I see what you're talking about, but it's like not as clear, and like clearly she's better at this than you. The first quote that I heard from Mr. Bassett, the first quote I read from Pop Crave before the album EP came out. Don't you ever wonder if I'm okay after all you put me through? Half the shit you're saying is only half true. Messing with my life as a career move. I can't help but wonder, why don't you make it end?
All right.
All right, Joshua.
I'm invested. I will be listening in the car on my drive down back to my place.
It also features my mama called because she heard I got death threats.
Ooh.
What the hell am I supposed to do with that?
Ooh.
Yeah, and then it's also implied another track that she cheated on him during the relationship. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot going on, and you read this GQ profile of him, and it's actually very sad. Like, no matter what happened in their relationship, like he was living in New York at the time when he was getting these death threat kind of things. He would go to coffee houses, and a coffee shop like that saw he was in there played Olivia Rodrigo songs on loop until he left to like push him out.
Oh my God. You are all fucking losers. Like, come on.
It's like, guys, this is just music. Like the best part about it is you're getting this music. Like I'm not knocking on Jake Gyllenhaal's door being like, fuck you.
Yeah, no.
You know, like it's a song. Like I'm happy he inspired some great music. Like we don't need to bully this child who is a child. Just so we're all clear. And it seems like he and Sabrina Carpenter are no longer together. He is very single. He now lives in the woods, like in a remote location he won't reveal. Like he's off the map, off the grid, like just trying to rebuild his life. And basically the thesis of Crisis is my label said that I should never waste a crisis. Like basically write a response song right now. Because driver's license is the biggest thing in the world. And he's basically like, how could you do this? But I guess you could never waste a crisis. It's like
it's kind of brilliant. It's kind of brilliant. It's kind of brilliant.
Like the song's pretty good. The songs are good.
Yeah.
And I feel for the kid. And also in that same GQ interview, which has nothing to do with Olivia, but there's a heartbreaking portion of it where he talks about how he was regularly sexually assaulted as a child.
Oh no.
And like apparently there was an older man that took advantage of him as a child. It's just like this kid has gone through it. Like sure he was a bad boyfriend to Olivia Rodrigo and or they broke up. Like let's leave this guy alone. Like guys.
That's crazy. That's
crazy. It's not worth whatever was happening. Hopefully it's all died down. But it seems like, you know, with the whole Grammy conversation, maybe there was more dust up about it. I just want us to all leave him alone.
Leave him alone and listen to his music too if it's good. Yeah. Like, come on. Like, I'm glad that he has an outlet where he is able to release music of his own.
Do you think he and Jake Gyllenhaal and like Dave Coulier are on like a text chain of like,
oh my God,
we're all fucked. And like, what did we really do?
What did we really do? But just really break up with our girlfriends.
Right. I mean, Jake and Dave, I think there are arguments because those girls were so young and they were so old.
Of course, yeah.
But Joshua was in the right age group.
Yes, and like I wasn't dating someone at 17, but like, were any of your relationships, did you know how to navigate a relationship when you were 17, 16, whatever age you were?
Were you a healthy partner to someone when you were 17?
Literally no.
Literally no.
You were not.
No. So, I don't know. Just leave Joshua Bassett alone is what I'm saying. Did you see this? Lakeith Stanfield shares original audition video for the 2019 Cats film.
Wait. Did this just come out? Because how was this not sent to me?
November 30th. He put this on TikTok.
Why did no one send this to me? Wait, is this real?
Real.
Was this really his self-tape?
Yes, it was his self-tape. I was called to London for a meeting with the director. He was auditioning to do the rum tub tugger dance, and the part eventually went to Jason Derulo, but Lakeith auditioned and posted his self-tape on the internet.
I am in love with everything about this news story.
A mess.
The fact that none of you,
you're blaming the audience.
The fact that none of you listening have sent this to me. How dare you? Hey, all of you.
I'm showing you now.
You didn't cheat, but you're still a traitor. Okay. All of you.
Everyone's Joshua Bassett's out there to your Olivia. So I like that he shared it. Lakeith Stanfield is a weird weird guy.
Yeah.
He is so strange. Like, I feel like everything I hear about him is weird, but like this, it's pretty funny.
It's amazing.
This is pretty funny.
I mean, I love nothing more than the Cats movie / Cats / everything involved with Cats the musical. And so just, I need to see who else auditioned? I need to see all of the audition
I need
tapes.
a whole list.
I need all of it. There needs to be a documentary about the audition process for everyone who submitted a tape.
And like, what do they think now? Were they like, woo, I didn't get that shit?
Oh, I would be mad. I'd be like, oh, I wish I was a part of the filming of that.
Oh no.
The thing I love about the Cats movie is you look at all those cats in the ensemble and you're just like, they are having so much fun because they're dancing around being like, we have no idea what the fuck this is going to look like, but here we are.
Then they saw it and they were having a lot less fun.
Well, I was having fun when I saw it.
Well, in other Bachelor news, this man who looks so much like Colton is going to be the new Bachelor. His name is Clayton Echard. He was named the Bachelor, even though the top 4 of Michelle's guys, the Bachelorette season that's currently airing, all top 4 of them are people of color. But the Bachelor was very much like, all right, we've had enough black leads. So we'll put this 8th place guy who got 8th place and got very little screen time. Has no personality. All eyes. He's 6'5" and hot. And on the, what do you think his tagline on the poster is?
Oh God, who knows?
Because everyone loves an underdog.
Oh,
it's like, in what world is a 6'5" cishet white man an underdog? Everything's coming because he's an overdog.
Because he came in 8th.
Well, he came in 8th because he's boring, and he's gonna be boring for me to watch for 12 weeks. Also, starting in January 3rd, it's like they're backing these seasons in so quickly, one after the other, that it's like, this is not fun. Like, give me a Bachelor season and a Bachelorette season, and like, I'll call it, and during the year, a Bachelor in Paradise, and that's enough. This is too much. Bachelor, and like, we don't have the people for it, clearly, if we're picking just some random 8th place boring person. I don't need it. I'm so upset.
You know, I'm sorry that you're going through this. I'm sorry that you're getting so much of the show that you love so much.
But it's a show. But it's a show that works best when it's on at the right time. I'm not you. Yeah. I can't watch 5 episodes of Big Brother a week and like still be happy about it. Okay, it's a limit. I need it when it's on.
It's exhausting.
I need it to be off when it's off.
That's the thing. When Celebrity Big Brother was announced again this year, I was just like, oh man, like I'm gonna have to hunt, because the good thing about Big Brother is like it's during the summer. Yes. It's like the summer is for Big Brother, and then you have a whole year to like recharge.
Right, so you get it.
Yeah. Luckily, Celebrity Big Brother is only 3 weeks, so it's not that much of an investment. But this is going to be a full season of The Bachelor.
A full season of The Bachelor. So it's happening. So maybe the girls will be good. That's the hope, is that there are some stars in his contestants. Magic Mike 3 is coming to HBO Max.
Why not?
Directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Again? Steven doing all the sequels.
I think, apparently what he said is, I went and saw Magic Mike live, or whatever, like live experience they have in Vegas, and he was inspired to write another film. It seems like they're going all in with HBO Max and Magic Mike, because there's also a new Magic Mike reality show about like becoming Magic Mike or something, and like maybe getting in the show or something. So for all the people that have missed Magic Mike since Magic Mike XXL, I think, was out in like 2013, 14. I don't know.
Okay.
It's coming back. Get your HBO Max subscriptions up. And by the way, if you haven't, I mean, I know I just talked about it, but if you haven't watched frickin' the gay dating show, 12 Dates of Christmas, I just finished it. It is wild. I'm so mad there's no reunion this season. I can't believe, the craziest part is that the straight man storyline is the one I was most invested in, and he picked the wrong fucking girl.
Oh no,
he didn't pick my queen, Brooke, and he picked dumb Nikki with her dumb lips. But apparently the gays that ended up together, the male gays, they are still together.
That's good.
Like stalking Penny's Instagram, and I saw that they were still together. No spoiler if you're watching now, but I was thrilled.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Love exists, guys. Love exists. Love can flourish.
So, congrats to those gays, and congrats to the Magic Mike stands. I'm trying to think if there's any other real news. Not really. The only other thing is no. All right. Looking down, and it's like, do I care about this? Oh no, and we'll talk about that later. Is there any other news for idiots that you would like to share with the people?
I don't believe so. It was a week of just me watching a bunch of workouts, and I'm just like, nothing.
Are you inspired to work out?
Hell no. Are you kidding? Get out of here. Would do it for you. Am thrilled I do not work out.
All right. Well,
I work out a little, but like not like I can't.
You can't do a whole thing?
I can't do a whole thing. No.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with more 2 Gay Mats.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's true.
We're situated. We had to get a bunch of things situated because something in Email My Heart involved something else technical.
And Matt Steele, what is Email My Heart?
Email My Heart is this right now.
Yes.
It is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com, 2 spelled TWO, or comment on this video below if you're watching this podcast on YouTube. So the first question comes to us from Samantha. Samantha says, it's the most wonderful time of the year to be a Spotify user. Hi, Matt. First of all, I just wanted to say that I discovered your podcast halfway through this year, and it is my giving me moment every week. I have been binge listening. I know. I have been binge listening to many of your past podcasts, and I also love having your new hilarious and energetic podcast every Monday to start my week. Anyway, to get to my question, this past week, Spotify has released their Spotify Wrapped for all of their users, and I just love looking through and reflecting on all of my top songs and artists from the past year. I am not even positive if you guys are Spotify users. Of course we are.
Oh my God.
But if you are, what were your top artists, songs, music genres, etc. this year? I'm so interested to hear what you have listened to the most. Also, I just wanted to mention that the 2 Gay Mats podcast was my most listened to podcast this past year.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Thank you,
That's
Samantha.
so kind. Samantha's it. She gets it.
She gets it. All right.
Matt Steele, do you have your list?
I have my list.
Okay.
Okay. So my, top artists this year were 1, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, iconic.
2, Matt Palmer.
Yes.
3, Lady Gaga.
Oh, I've heard of her.
4, Lorde.
Oh.
And 5, Little Mix.
All right. Look at Little Mix jumping in the top 5. You didn't even know who they were this time last year.
Like, for real. And my top songs were Chasing Fireworks by Matt Palmer.
Thank you.
I Don't Want It by Matt Palmer. Number 3, The Ladies Paying from Sunset Boulevard, the Broadway cast recording with Glenn Close.
I'm in great company.
I was just playing that song on loop for a long period of time. I think it's Andrew.
Why were you?
I think it's Andrew Lloyd Webber's like best song. I love it so much.
Okay, all right.
And I was just obsessed with it for a little while. And I was very depressed when Sunset Boulevard announced it was not going to be made.
I do remember that.
So, number 4, Used to the Dark by Matt Palmer. Number 5, Allergic by Matt Palmer.
Wow.
I mean, Justice for Keep It Secret by Matt Palmer as well. And Do It All Again, which is a class. I'm surprised.
I mean, if you look, after you give us your artist, you got to look through your actual playlist they make for you to see some songs that are not by me, so people can hear
exactly.
other
I'll do
things.
that. Yeah, but I mean, I had to support my friend. I had to support Matt Palmer and Glenn Close.
That's your 2 best friends.
They're my 2 best. They are my 2 only friends, ladies and gentlemen.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Anytime.
I am not on either of my lists because I'm like, I can't listen because I share what I'm listening to on Spotify. So if ever I do listen to my own music, I have to put myself on private.
I love that.
That's a lot of work because it just would be like, really, bitch? Like you're just sitting there listening to your own music. But sometimes you got to do it.
I mean, sometimes I listen to those 2 Gay Mats, like an old 2 Gay Mats podcast, and I'm just like, this is fun.
It is fun. So honestly, sometimes I watch our old videos. And I'm like, I'm in a better mood. So I'm like, I get it. My number 1 song, Julia Michaels, All Your Exes.
Yes.
So I feel like multiple people, but definitely someone on this podcast reached out to me and was like, I think you would really like this song, which I took as a compliment because the song is great, but also as like, I'm not a crazy person about other people's exes, and I feel like I have that stigma around me. So you were right. It was my favorite song of the year, so you got me there.
Yeah.
Number 2, Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Which I don't think is my favorite of her songs, but I guess I played it a lot.
Okay.
Number 3, Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Number 4, Montero, Call Me By Your Name by Lil Nas X. And number 5, Dua Lipa and Should Have Been Motherfucking Normani, If It Ain't Me.
Okay.
I was so ready for the fucking Normani remix of that song that never came. I think someone made a very good, like, polished sounding version of the Normani duet version of that song, but I'm still pissed it never got officially released. What a great song.
It's a fantastic song.
It's a great song.
Yeah, I was very surprised by my Spotify Wrapped because it said like top artists. You know, Taylor Swift was my top artist, but then it listed like top music genres, and Broadway was like the top music genre.
Of course.
But it's not one specific artist.
So my top artists were, number 1, Mariah Carey.
Okay.
This happens every year where if Mariah doesn't release something new, she's not in my top 5 songs. And then I get nervous. I'm like, oh my God, is Mariah not my top artist this year? But of course she is. Number 2, Taylor Swift. Number 3, Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Number 4, Alanis Morissette.
Okay.
And number 5, Miss Janet Jackson. I was listening to music for 68,120 minutes on Spotify.
How many days is that?
It's days and days and days.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens. And my top genre was dance pop, which is just their way of saying you're a homosexual.
You're homosexual. It's either like Broadway or dance pop.
Yes.
You're a homosexual.
All right. What other songs were on your list? Not by me.
Leo's statement, "It's hard to speak my heart" from Parade.
Lord.
Because I was like considering putting that in like my audition book. And so I was listening to it, singing along to it.
That is a great song.
Oh, it's fantastic. Sweet Melody by Little Mix.
Speaking of great songs.
Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes.
Leave Me Out, Matt Palmer.
Hey.
Dancing on My Own by Robin.
Oh, okay. That's not current.
You'll Never Walk Alone from Carousel. Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes.
Then there's Keep a Secret.
Yes.
Supercut by Lorde. Yeah. I think that's enough.
Yeah, I have Walk by Griff is one that I feel like people don't know.
Oh, that's a great song. That's a fantastic song. Yes.
I have Easy by Demi Lovato and Noah Cyrus, another great song.
I have The Movie in My Mind from Miss Saigon. I have the prologue from Carousel. I listened to a lot of Carousel this year.
Girl Like Me by Jasmine Sullivan, which, by the way, there is this, I don't know if it's Netflix or something, on YouTube, there's a performance of Girl Like Me where it's hard to describe, but she's just sitting in front of a window that she just has a guitarist behind her. Her is not there, so it's just Jasmine doing it alone. There's not a better singer on planet Earth. And I feel like I say this every other podcast, but if you're not listening to Jasmine Sullivan, and I feel like this is less of a problem now. Hotels was a big hit. She just won Best Album at the Soul Train Awards, I believe. But man, oh fucking man, the voice on Jasmine Sullivan.
I mean,
the agility, the ability to do those runs as cleanly and clearly as she does, unmatched. No one in today's singing climate can even come close.
And a great writer.
Great writer. The songs, the themes of the songs, the concepts, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I just need everyone to love Jasmine Sullivan as much as I do. That's all I need.
Okay.
All right?
That's your Christmas wish.
That is all I want for Christmas. All right.
All right. So next question comes to us from Maxwell.
Hey, Maxwell.
Maxwell says, Songwriting 101. Matt, hi, I hope you both are doing well and are enjoying the beginnings of the holiday season. All I want for Christmas is blasting on every speaker in my house, and I hope it's the same for you.
I better be, because we're getting that #1 every year from now until the end of time.
The end of time. I have always been a huge music buff, hence how I found you both in the first place, and I recently have delved into songwriting. It's the purest form of self-expression for myself, and I truly wish I would have utilized this outlet sooner.
All right.
But hey, it's better to start now than never, I guess.
Yes.
I was just curious, Matt Palmer, what are some tips you would give to beginner songwriters on how to fine-tune their craft? Sometimes I feel really stuck on whether the song being too simple, then it's too generic, and if it's too complex, you lose your audience entirely. I was just curious how you maybe toe that line. Matt Steele, I would love your input as well, not only as a connoisseur of music, well, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
But as a writer yourself. I know you love a good story. Plug Devos in the movie here.
It's true.
Shameless plug incoming. I've attached a clip, of course, of a song I wrote called Let Myself, as well as lyrics to this song and another song I wrote called Rain Check. Imagine Avril's Bite Me meets Olivia's Good For You.
Hey, I want to hear that.
Amazing. Obviously, if you don't have time. Oh, well, of course we'll listen to it. Get out of here. Maxwell's like, if you don't have time to listen to it. Maxwell, we are listening to it.
Of course we will.
And we will let you know how iconic it is.
All right. My Songwriting 101 first class moment is you're going to write a lot of bad songs. You're going to write a lot of bad songs before you write a good one. Just keep going. Everyone's songwriting process is different. I think starting simple is good. The first songs I wrote, I had no romantic life to pull from. So it was like, we're not writing about anything.
You're imagining.
Real, but we're imagining and we're getting the melody down. We're getting the structure down. We're getting the vibe down. And as you live and as you continue writing, you'll be able to make the lyrics something specific, but not something that is, not singable at all, and I feel like that is the thing that great writers like a Julia Michaels with All Your Exes or a Taylor Swift with All Too Well can do, is like they can give you the specificity and give you something that feels unique. And the thing is, you shouldn't be trying to write a song that no one's ever written before, because you're never going to do that. Yeah. But just write a song the way you would write it and say the things in the point of view that you would want, that only you're going to have, because you're the only you out there. So that, I think, start with a strong melody, start with strong structure, and then infuse it with you.
Yeah. I mean, to quote Stephen Sondheim, Sunny in the Park with George, anything you do, let it come from you, then it will be new.
Hi.
Give us more to see.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yes.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I would say for, screenwriting or playwriting, a thing I like to do, which is kind of just something that I've always done, is I write like one sort of chunk, like either a scene or like a section or something, and then I put it down for a long time, like months, in some cases years.
Yeah.
And then I like pull it back up again, and then I expand on that.
Right.
Just because sometimes it's nice to just like let something sit for a while and then go back to it a while later with more knowledge, and to like let it marinate in your head for a long time. Another thing I like to do just in terms of, making characters specific or something like that is, I wouldn't say I like always pull from my own life necessarily, but sometimes I take instances from my own life and I am like, well, what if this one specific thing turned out a little differently? Or what if someone else was in this same situation I was in? So I am inspired by things in my own life or things in the lives of people who I know and everything, but I find a way to sort of like twist them and make them a little different.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I have like any sort of system. Sometimes I just like write a scene and just have the people talk and see what happens from that. And I can't say I have like one system that completely, totally works all the time.
I think it's a good idea also, even if you write a song and you finish it, I think it's good to put it down, leave for a bit and come back to it. Because I feel like once, at least for me, when I get a song written and or fully recorded, by the end of it, I'm like, is this good? And like, cause you've been with it so long, you're so close with it. They're like, I don't even know if it's good or bad or what it is, but then I'll leave and then I'll listen to it again, honestly, in just like a week. And I'm like, that's fucking great.
It's like timeless.
Sometimes it takes a minute because you get so used to it. It's been coming out of you for so long that once you take a break and come back to it, you'll be able to see it more clearly.
Take a break. To quote Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Hey, another songwriter.
Take a break.
My peer. A colleague of mine.
A colleague of ours who at one point said we were both funny.
That is true. There's a tweet to prove it. All right, so Matt Steele.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What has been giving you moments, darling?
Fuck all of y'all.
Uh-oh.
House of Gucci's good. House of Gucci's good. Why is everyone shitting on it? I enjoyed myself.
How was Lady Gaga?
Really good.
Really
good. Like, I think she's so intriguing to watch the whole time. I think her chemistry with Adam Driver's really good. I will say the movie is not as campy as the trailer made it seem.
Okay.
So that is like a little like, but there are elements of camp to it that like pop in every once in a while, which people are like, oh, it's tonally inconsistent. But it's like, shut up. This was fun. But I think those moments work because they're so entertaining, and I don't know, I really was invested the whole time, and I was never bored. I really liked it. I don't know why people are like not.
Do most people dislike it?
No, I wouldn't say most people dislike it.
Okay.
Like, it's doing well. It's a success and everything. But I feel like I've heard a lot of people who were like disappointed by it, and I'm just like, I don't know why I liked it. I enjoyed myself in that movie theater, and there were a lot of Lady Gaga stands in that theater, and you can tell they were like I knew I was in the right theater for House of Gucci when Nicole Kidman popped up for her AMC. You haven't been to an AMC theater.
I have not.
So you have not been living your year with Nicole Kidman.
I mean,
doing her promo.
I saw that commercial, right? Like, it's a commercial that's on top. I've seen the commercial. I haven't seen it in the big screen.
Every time she pops up, people are just like, yes. And then House of Gucci, everyone in that theater was like, yes.
But okay, do you think it was good and or fun and you're happy you saw it? Or do you think like, oh, Lady Gaga should win the Oscar?
I don't know about that. Like, if she's nominated, I'd be like, yeah. And if she won, I'd be like, sure.
All right.
Like, I think it's a very good performance. I don't know who I would put as my front runner for leading actress, who has like my personal pick for leading actress yet. I still have to see some performances. But no, I enjoyed it. I don't know. Is it the best movie I've ever seen? No, but I enjoyed it. I don't know. And there have been interviews with Ridley Scott lately that are just like, so funny.
God.
Like in interviews about his movie The Last Duel, someone was like I interpreted the ending of the movie to be this. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I interpreted the ending of the movie to be this, but other people are interpreting the end of the movie to be like this other thing and everything. And Ridley Scott's just like, well, it's not my fault if people are fucking stupid. Like, come on, the answer's obvious. Just watch the movie. It's just like amazing, iconic. So I stand Ridley Scott this week.
Right.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yes. Check it out, Matt Palmer. House of Gucci, available now.
How long is it?
2.5 hours.
Okay.
I was engaged in the story.
That's a long time for me.
And there's a great sex scene where everyone in the theater was just like, ooh,
Okay, I don't know if I want those reactions. Okay, I'll see. So for me, I unfortunately don't have much of a giving you moments this week.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say, and I don't mean to be rude, because we like to keep it positive during this section of the podcast. As you all, if you've listened to this podcast for a long time, you'll know that I maintain that there were years of our lives that Vanderpump Rules was the best show on television.
Okay.
I am weeks behind on that show, and I have nothing driving me to want to watch it.
Okay.
I feel bad because I believe we have a listener who I believe is a big Lisa Vanderpump fan. Her name, I believe, is Margot. So Margot, if you're listening, thank you so much. We love you. And I loved this show. And I realize and understand why the casting changes were made. And I don't even think that's really the problem. But the show, nothing's happening. Like, there's arguments about the name of Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval's new restaurant. They want to call it Schwartz and Sandy's. Katie doesn't like it. This is the through line of the season. Okay. We've been talking about this for 10 episodes.
Okay.
And there's interesting stuff happening in the background, like Sheena dating this man who like hasn't seen his kids in 4 years and like doesn't get along with Sheena's mom. And like that all got dropped.
Okay.
It just is like, oh, Lala was mean. And Lala said something mean. And I'm like, guys, what the fuck are we doing? This was a show that literally every scene was more unhinged than the last. Like season 6, that was what, 3 years ago? It seems like the show has gotten so far away from what it once was. And that's not to say it can't get better. Maybe season 10 will get better. Ever since the show has aired, Lala and her husband are now getting divorced, and James and Raquel are no longer engaged. It seems like the reunion is going to address both of these things. It seems like there's going to be more to talk about at the reunion about things that happened off camera than on. And it's just because you can't build a show around Tom Sandoval. Like, he is the new like star of the show, and I didn't even love him as a quirky side character. And now it's like, oh, Sandoval feels this way and he's going to get in everybody's face. And like, it just is too much. And it's too much and also nothing. It's so boring. And it's like the last thing that I thought Vanderpump Rules could ever be. A show built upon the fact that they were all sleeping with each other and slapping each other about it.
I'm waiting for the giving me moments.
There's no giving me moments. This is the giving me moments, is that I'm fucking pissed.
Wow.
And I just am upset that it's come to this. I don't know how you fix the show. There's been rumors that they're going to bring some people back. Maybe if you see them reckoning with like the racist actions that they performed before this season, maybe that is something to watch. They can't come back and not address it. Like, they can't come back and we're not addressing Stassi and Kristen like actively being racist towards Faith. But that could help. I think the Lala and James being single could help. The options are fix the show or cancel it. Like, it cannot be this bad. I can't have it.
All right, so how can we twist this into a positive?
Where it's not. The positive is
that you're feeling a moment of catharsis.
Sure. Sure. This is I'm expressing because it's been on my heart and on my spirit, and I've not wanted to come out publicly and saying that it is bad, but fuck, it's bad. Especially when there's so much great shit on Bravo right now. Like Salt Lake City is so incredible. Potomac was amazing. That Nicki Minaj hosted final reunion episode was so good. It's just like Vanderpump Rules used to be like the best show on Bravo and maybe on television. And look at it now.
Martin Scorsese was a huge Vanderpump Rules fan.
I bet he wouldn't turn it on to save his fucking life.
Oh no, when you disappoint Martin, guys, that means you done something wrong.
I don't know how we got here. And I realize the big change in the cast had some things to do with it, but find more. If you need new people, find more thirsty, broke servers. And because they're all sleeping with each other and being assholes.
I'm a server.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm broke. Am I thirsty?
No. And you're not like sleeping with your coworkers.
I could.
Sorry. You could be a friend of.
I will fucking take it.
Oh, you'd be great.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to watch something you've loved for so long. I assume this is how like sports people feel when they've like loved a team for so long and then they're really shitty for a long time.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I was rooting for you. I told everyone to watch you and like, this is what you've become.
That's why like, I'm a movie guy. That's why I'm a movie guy, because TV shows at some point will always disappoint.
But you stick through.
But you stick through it.
You stick through Big Brother's horrible seasons.
I know, and I stuck the horrible seasons of Degrassi. I've stuck through, but then Degrassi would get better because they would change the cast and everything, and it would be like a refresher and everything. But they changed the cast, and it's like, ooh.
Well, they didn't really. They just got rid of half of the cast and then kept the other people. So you're seeing like the skeleton. You're seeing the B team of what was the main cast.
Ooh, plus like new people you don't really care about. Yeah, they got to do a whole refresh, because Degrassi did that when there was like a middle point where there were some old people and some new people. Yes. It was the lowest ever. And then suddenly they were just like, fuck all these old people, goodbye. All new people, and it was just like, wait, truly, this is great. I
don't know how you fix it, but you either fix it or cancel it. I can't live in a world in which Summer House is like 12 times better than Vanderpump Rules, and it is.
That's a shame. Vanderpump Rules, I'm very disappointed in you, not because I've ever watched you, but because you
watched that first season. That part, at the Vanderbrunch.
I watched an episode. I had to go to work at my own restaurant job.
You could recognize every one of those original cast members.
I could, yes. But
your friend worked with Sheena.
I did. My friend did a commercial with Sheena.
Yes.
But the fact that you, Vanderpump Rules, have turned giving me moments into a negative experience.
I had to get it off my heart.
I can't forgive you. This is a positive, because this is like your therapy.
Yes. I needed to yell about this, and because it also took a long time for me to just be like, it's just bad now. Because it's like, well, maybe it'll get better. Like, oh, there's something here in this scene. But like, the times when Vanderpump Rules is bad is when they have to do crazy editing tricks to make a scene interesting. Like, now we're going to pretend we're like a James Bond movie.
Oh no, they do like kitschy.
I hate it. I also hate it when there's a diatribe of like, oh, Tom Schwartz wants to have sex with Lisa Vanderpump, which is like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, this is ridiculous. Give me something real. Give me anything real. I mean, if you have to bring back a couple of those people, make them atone, put them to task for what they did to Faith, and then let's talk about it. But if you don't have an idea that's good to fix the show, just cancel it. It's like you're looking at this dog that's like 17 years old and on its last legs. And you're like, but I remember all the memories of when you were wonderful and a puppy and hopping around, when the kindest thing you can do for it. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't mean to be morbid or dark, but 9 years as a reality TV show is a long time.
Fantastic.
How long was The Hills on? Yeah. How long was fucking Laguna Beach on? 3 seasons? Like, sometimes just let things float off.
It's wild how things now, like TV shows, you expect them to go like 1,000 seasons. Whereas like classic TV shows, like 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago, like you're like, oh, they were such a staple in television and they're so iconic. And then you're like, wait, this was only 6 seasons? Like, it's amazing how it's like those shows knew we're done.
And I hate that too. Because I'm mad that Insecure is about to end. So I get it. I'm saying 2 things, but I would never want a show to get this bad. Like Friends, even in its 10th season, when it was like, this isn't quite as funny, it still was good.
Yeah.
This isn't even like watchable. It's unwatchable. I'm hurt.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
You know what? Like Taylor said to Jake Gyllenhaal after he didn't show up to his birthday party, I'm sorry too.
And there it is.
Is there anything else we need to tell the people?
I don't think so.
Thank you so much for watching or listening or however you're consuming us at the moment.
Yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful final month of the year. I mean, we'll see you in a week. But beginning of the final month of your year.
That's true. We love you very much, and we'll be back next week with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.